Everybody wins a prize. Walking Dead, Dead City. It's a review, so make sure it's spoilers, and don't forget to follow if you like this type of stuff. Following on from the events of season 3 and the sort of cliffhanger at the end, where Maggie had burnt the toy that belonged to Ginny and kept the story that kept that from Negan, and Negan killing Luther because Luther found out who he was. So at the beginning of it, they found they're like, where's Luther? And obviously Negan's like, so he's a bit worried about that. Maggie finds the lip balm, beeswax lip balm that he's got, and they're like, I can explain. And they just have a little kerfuffle. They move to attack the Croat base. It's definitely more one of the fast-paced ones, or one of the better laid-out ones, because everything's moving, but there's like no defense. Like when they get into the base, there's like no security or anything like that. There's no one around, so they easily walk through. And obviously, it's a trap. They split up, so Negan's by himself and everyone else is together. So Negan's trying to call the Croat out and get him alone, which is obviously not going to happen because the Croat's going to have bodyguards and stuff. So I'm like, he's not going to be alone. So that's a bit of an annoying thing. The main group and Negan separate, so I'm going to call them separate things. But the main group is like searching for Herschel, going through, trying to find him. There's one bit where they were like, there was a body in there that looked like Herschel. Obviously not him. They want to keep the story going. I personally don't think they would off him, not this early anyway, because I don't think that the showrunners would do that to Maggie. I don't think they'd want another depressed person in it. It's depressing enough. So for some reason they go out into the main arena in this open space where there's like a UFC octagon in. I don't understand why they've gone into the centre of it where everyone can see them. And then they find out that they're just evacuating anyway. So all these bombs go off and all the walkers come in. So they get from the outside to the inside to the centre of this massive stadium real quick. So obviously that's TV. And then there's like 10 of the main group, and they're like trying to find a way out because all the walkers from all the entrances, and then they put this loud music playing at the centre, so they find them real quick, and all the entrances fill up real quick, exits, and that's just, okay, fine. But then there's that real stupid moment where they're all fighting outside a cage when they could get in the cage, and then just it would take ages, but they'd get through. But no, when 4 are left, they get back in. They get into the cage because the girl Ginny's with them. Ginny finds Maggie, and obviously Ginny knows that Maggie's lied and hidden the fact that Ginny's on the island. So obviously she's gonna have to deal with that with Negan later. So they're all standing in the cage, and then one of them, Maggie realizes, oh, let's use the pads and then push our way out. In the meantime, there's a couple there, and the guy gets like pulled away. Obviously he's screaming, but then he magically reappears. No harm done, no scratches, no nothing. Well, we don't know yet. They escape, and they magically find a way out, but they have to go into the sewers. So the sewers are full of dead and methane. Can't really breathe on methane. Lots of dead, pitch black. I can't use an ignition source because obviously that's not so good. Anyway, scratch back to Negan. Obviously Negan and Croat have a confrontation, and the Croat's like, I know why you're here. And brings out the marshal. He's like, I'm here for Herschel. I said, and then the Croat throws the marshal over the side, but miraculously Marshal saved, Negan saves him. and they're like helping each other out. They get out, but then the marshal turns on Negan, obviously, even though Negan saved his life. It was a good episode. It was more action packed. The best bit was probably the fight scene in the UFC centre. That's probably the best part of it. The story's good. There's obviously people die quickly, but common sense isn't the best thing in this show. But it's good. 6 out of 10. Toodles.